Hello everyone, this video is a chapter 1 of material management cycle. Before continuing this video, I suggest you one should understand the engineering module, all videos which are prepared in engineering. Basically, for understanding material management, one should understand the category creation, material creation, adding that material into the WBS, and estimation of quantity in WBS. This all is explained in the engineering module material management part. So I suggest you, if you haven't seen that video, go watch that video first. Then and then only it is possible for you to understand this material management. Here what I am going to explain you in site and purchase module. So this video is prepared with the version of site module 23100 and purchase module version 23.1 and 1. Okay, so let's just begin. So before explaining you the menu, first must understand what we are going to see in this material management part. So let me explain you what material management exactly means in a construction industry. So material management is basically a management of a material in a way so that entry of the material with requirements till the exit or the consumption of that material is managed in such a way that every single transaction can be kept documented. Okay, so this entire cycle is can be seen in this purchase module of high rise and the part of a site module. Okay, so basically this cycle starts with the material requirement or requisition generated from the site with for which site engineer generates or a project manager. Now this requisition floats in a purchase module where one approving authority approves that requisition. After approving that requisition, this inquiry generation part for that inquiry where we used to find a different vendor or supplier who will ready to supply that material with lowest cost. So this entire cycle can be managed this in inquiry part where quotation and everything can be managed. Later, a lowest bidder or a vendor is selected for supplying that material on the site. For that selected vendor, purchase department used to generate a purchase order in this purchase order menu. After generating that purchase order, we receive that material on site where store is created. That store, for receiving the material into the store, one should prepare GRN, that is goods receipt note. After generating that goods receipt note, then purchase bill is prepared and the amount is paid to the vendor. In meantime, the stock which is maintained in the store is going to consume on the site with the help of this issue menu. So this entire cycle what I explained you is going to look we are going to look that part in detail by starting with this menu called material requisition. Now with this material requisition part, okay, so this material requisition what I am going to explain you, we are going to look material requisition raising part for this project Novotel Hotel. We have three different types of requisition here in a software. I'm going to explain you in detail regarding the each and every type of this requisition. So first we are going to look for this material wise requisition menu. Now in this material wise requisition menu, one must select this material requisition. Okay, here material selection is mandatory. You see this star mark, this is shows us mandatory field. This all fields where the star mark is given is a mandatory field. One must select this mandatory fields in a filter option to take out the data in a through the system. So we are going to generate this requisition for this material cement 43 grade. The advantage of this field is if you remember a part of a material, like in a construction industry there are various materials which are having really big names, and if you remember a part of that name, then you can, if you type a grade also, the software will show you the results here. Now you need to select that material, and remaining all filters you can apply, like WBS filter. You are able to understand the WBS filter after watching engineering video, and you can apply the filter of task status. If there is any activity which is started, and for that started activity you need to generate a requisition, then you need to select the started checkbox. Software will show you only those activities here in a result which are started. Now we click on search button, and software will give you the result here, where you see this requisition date, on which date you can, you are raising the requisition. This requisition can be generated backdated. We have a provision of configuration in a system where one can generate this backdated entry. We can allow a user to generate a backdated entry, or no backdated requisition should be generated in a system. Now you see this checkbox. Now I wanted to generate a requisition for this entry. I will select this. You see this blue material is shown in a blue color. You see this, we have a details encoded here. If you click on this cement 43 grade, you will able to see all the projects where this material is kept, and what, how much is the quantity, and for which brand this material is stored into the system. Now this requisition generator can see that that much stock is still having with me. Now whether I should generate this requisition or transfer the material from other store, that we will see, that I will explain you in remaining video. Now for this material, for which activity does this material is requisite, is visible over here. Reason later, the quantity, estimated quantity is reflect here. This quantity is reflecting here from an engineering module where estimation has been done. Now I can generate this requisition for this entire quantity or part of the quantity. Let's just say I require 200 bags for now. You can select a brand here in a drop down if the brand is linked in an engineering module, which is explained there in that menus. Now you can select the priority, the urgency of how urgently you require this material on the site, low, high, medium. You can type the specification. The specification is related to the generally it is related to the material. It either can be a physical specification, chemical composition of the material, or anything which site engineer wants to explain to a purchaser. He can type here. If he types here, then the specification will reflect in PO while raising PO also. Other than that, if he wanted to remember anything, he can type it into the remark, like requisition is generated for this group or for this activity after approving from PM, that is project manager, like that. And next and the last is the requirement date, that when this material is required on the site. So you can select that, suppose it is required that start it is going to start on October 3rd, so till 2nd of October he required a material on the site. So you can select that and click on this generate requisition button. So here you see this requisition generated successfully is shown, pop-up is shown, and software will generate a requisition number for this material. Now in this way you can generate a requisition away by using this type, requisition type, that is material wise requisition. Now let's just see remaining two types of this material requisition. First we select our same project here, and second type is the easy requisition. By the name stated here, easy requisition. Easy requisition where material selection is a mandatory. If I select type here cement, and hit on the search button, software will show me all this activity where this material is going to be required. Now my job, suppose it is required to purchase this material in a bulk quantity, so I will simply type here the bulk quantity which I am going to procure. Let's just say 2000, and I will select those activity for against which I wanted to adjust this 2000 quantity, and I will simply click on this adjust button. So software does it for me. Based upon the estimated quantity, software will adjust the 2000 against all of this uh, entries which are visible here. Now my job is to simply type the specification remark where when I require this material on the site, and I will simply click on this generate requisition button, and software generate this requisition for me. As simple as that. And another last type of the requisition is procurement plan. In this procurement plan, if you does the planning through MSP, and now you require to generate a multiple requisition at a single time for multiple material, it is possible to do it through this menu or option called procurement type. In this type, as you can see, this material selection is not at all mandatory. That means the software will show you the results for all the materials which are available here in this project. Now I'll simply apply the filter from date to date for which duration I wanted to raise a requisition. If I does the planning in MSP, or I will simply type here from this 2000 I required to see the material. Now when I click on this search button, software will show me all these materials which are there in WBS. And when I click on this details, software will show me all of the activities where this material is estimated with the quantity, for how much quantity it is estimated. Now I can edit this quantity, or I can generate the requisition for this entire quantity if I wish to. By using this menu, a requisition for the multiple materials can be generated. This menu is useful basically for the activities like electrical installation, electrical part, or a mechanical part, or a plumbing part, where it is required to requisite multiple materials in a single time. Nearly 2000 or 150 materials is required to requisite at a time, then it is possible by using this menu. Okay, where just simply click on this plus button. You need to select those activity for which you wanted to generate the requisition. You can edit this requisition quantity, required date, requisition date, requirement date, priority selection, specification typing, and one can hit on the generate requisition button, and software will generate the requisition for all those which are selected here, like this. Nearly this 4 requisitions is generated at a time in a system. Now after generating these requisitions into the system, one can see this requisition in requisition browse menu. This requisition browse in system, if you enter any data and you wanted to retrieve that data, that is possible through a browse menu. For every single menu we have a browse option, like purchase order. For purchase order we have a purchase order browse option. For inquiry we have an inquiry browse option. So similarly, browse means view. If you wanted to see any data which is entered into the system, you can browse it through a requisition browse menu. Now I wish to see the all of this requisition which I have generated just now. So I'll simply click on the library which is related to my project here. Then I will apply. If I wish to apply remaining filter, I can apply like requisition date wise filter, or requirement date wise filter, then WBS filter, material category, or any other which I wish to. And I'll simply click on this search button, and I'll be able to see all of this requisition. We have the status, quantity which is requisite through the system. We have a requisition serial number here, and requirement date also, at which date this is required on the site. Similarly, if you wish to apply any document with this, means site engineer wanted to pass any like a BOM or a specification of material which are there in Excel or Word, he can attach that file here. I simply click on this choose file button. He can attach this file where it is available. He can type the remark against that, he can upload it. That file goes uploaded on the server, client server. Okay, and this remains there until this it is not removed from the server itself, and by any time, by meantime, one can come here and download that file. Okay, so if we wish to see the details that whoever generated this requisition, what is the status of that requisition, host name, priority, every single thing is visible if you click on this arrow of details. One can take out the print here also, summary wise and detail print. We have two different formats available here for this requisition tracking, where what is happened with that requisition, PO is generated or not, what is the PO quantity, if it is generated, what is the approved quantity, everything is visible in a report. Now after generating this requisition, after generating these requisitions, there is one other type which remains for the requisition, is the extra requisition. What exactly this extra requisition means? Suppose site engineer wanted to raise a requirement for such material which are not estimated in a WBS, means the material like nails, pan, boom, we used to call it a jhadu on a site, or any other very petty materials which are required on the site and which are not possible to estimate. One can requisite that material by using this extra requisition option. So how does it work? First of all, you need to select a project and this icon. When you click on this icon, you have a list of materials which are there in a library. For which material you wanted to raise a requisition, you just need to checkbox that and you can click on this menu button. All these materials are reflected here. Now if you don't want, this is mistakenly selected, you can remove this also. And for these two materials you wanted to raise a requisition, you can click on this OK button. You just need to type the quantity, for how much quantity you are raising this requisition, the date of the requisition, the requirement date, the brand if you wanted to link it, the specification for this material if you wanted to type, the remark if you wanted to notify or pass in on any message related to this requisition, you can type it here and you just need to hit on this requisition, generate requisition button. So there is a validations in a system. Right now this requirement date is not less than requisition date, so you can select this dates of when you require the material on the site. Okay, and suppose we are generating requisition backdated, so okay, by doing this you can generate a requisition here. So in this way you are a site engineer or site in charge raise his requirement related to material to approving authority here into the software. So after generating this requisition through a menu, to this menus, another menu is requisition detail browse. As you see it on your screen, this requisition detail browse, we have additional filters available here, like this. If I wish to approve, if our management wish to approve those requisition which are pending to select the supplier or pending to raise a PO, that can be seen here by applying this filter. Now we will see the approving of this requisition. Once the requisition generated in a system, that is flows to this purchase module in this requisition option, where approving authority can see those requisition which are generated from the site. Now it's their job to see this requisition, verify it and approve it. The approving authority will come to know that requisition is generated by this notification icon. You see this bell icon. When you click on this bell icon, software will show the notification like this: the requisition is generated for this quantity in this project. Now if you click on this got it button, software will remove that notification from this icon. Now approving authority will see this window here, the requisition approved. They will select their project, and if additional filters they wish to apply for the selected duration or any, and they will simply click on this search button. Now they are able to see all of these requirements which are generated from the site with entire details of who has generated this, whether it is approved or not, or estimated quantity, what is the specification, everything is visible here. The another advantage of this screen is the person who is, suppose the approving authority wanted to see the stock of the material which is available in a different project stores, he can browse this by clicking on this material name, and he is able to see the stock for this material which are available in different store. Now either he can transfer, decide whether he should approve this requisition or whether he should freeze this requisition for now here. So for approving, he simply needs to click on this checkbox button available here. He can edit the quantity. Let's just say site has generated a requisition for 1990 and he wanted to approve only 200 requisition or 200 quantity. He can simply type here 200 quantity. He needs to select this status which he wants us to apply here, and he can simply click on this apply status button. So by doing this, he can update the status of that requisition. Software will next time software will show you the remaining quantity out of that total quantity. The rest of the status like foreclosed, completed, deleted can be used. Let's just say partial quantity is approved and those remaining quantity I don't want to approve it since the project is completed. I will simply click on this button and click on this foreclose, so this requisition will foreclose. Similarly, if the requisition is generated from the site and there is something mistake in the quantity or the specification of the material, he can directly click on this delete button to delete that requisition. Similarly, the options for browsing which are available in the site module are available here in a here in a purchase module also. The requisition browse and requisition detail browse. The person who had approved the requisition will able to browse those through a browse menu. Also, those requisitions which are generated on the site have some attachment with it, so he can download that attachment from here if it is uploaded here, or if he wish to upload any document, he can simply click on that file. He can open that file, type any remark, it just say file important spec. He can type something like this and he just need to click on this upload file button. It is available here, a documented uploaded option with the remark. Now either if anyone wish to download this file and view this, he can download it by the using this button, or if he wants to wish to delete this file, he can delete it by using this button also. So here this material requirement cycle is completed. Next will be explained. Next menus will be explained in later videos. Thank you so much.